Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. I know you're a little bit further away from me, but I wanted you to be able to see my table. Notice I have my machine pushed all the way over here. We're starting something new, but this is something that I will be able to have ongoing. I wanted to show you the things I have out. I have another mat over here because the one on my table doesn't cover the whole table. First thing I have is a Perfect 10 ruler by Creative Grids. Not necessary if you want to do this. Have whatever size you want. Once I tell you everything that we're doing, you'll understand. Next thing I have is my OmniGrid 2.5-inch ruler. This ruler here is just going to help me cut my strips. I have my Alpha rotary and 10-inch square papers. And over here to the side of me, I have my little Mighty Steam, my little iron on, and I have my best press. I don't know if I'm going to need that or not, but I am going to start working through this basket of scraps. I am going to start on that scrappy quilt, and it's a string quilt is what I'm doing. I've never done this before, but I have seen it done. So I am going to just get my papers open. I'm not sure how, it says approximately 50 pieces in here. They're 10-inch squares. I know most of the videos I've seen, people, they're like, you know, your square is going to be smaller than your paper. And, I mean, I have a 10-inch square ruler. I don't know why I can't use a ruler that's 10 inches and make it 10 inches. But you know what? I can do what I want to do. It's my quilt. I can try it, and if it don't work, that's fine. It's okay. So this is paper piecing squares. I've never done this before. So I'm just going to learn how to do it, and you're going to see me learn how to do it. I have this one page, so let's get started with getting some squares first. I only have an hour today to do this because I am still working on that storage bedroom. Yeah, that's a nightmare. But I realized I have 19 years, almost 19 years of stuff in that room that needs to go. Okay, well, we have this here. I don't want it that wide. I can use this piece several times. I'm just going to cut it down. It doesn't have to be in half. Your pieces don't have to be a certain size. One's bigger than the other. That is okay. But I do have some bigger strips, and y'all probably remember seeing this in the last video, the open gate quilts. This is a strip that was left out of that. I may use that with a no, I'm not going to use that with that one. I have another project over here too. Y'all see that one Tuesday probably. I haven't done anything with it. These really small strips, you won't get much out of those. So I'm going to lay those over to the side. This one, perfect size. I don't really want to use the reds, but I may. I'm just going through my scrap bin here to see what I have, see what I can use. I don't really know that most of this is something that I would use because I am doing my scrap quilt with pieces that will go with my Sugarberry. Now these can go to a completely scrappy quilt. Let me just get all of this out of the way. I don't know why I didn't think about this. This is a jelly roll from Sugarberry. These are scraps from directly Sugarberry. This may go with it. I do like that blue contrast in there. So I may put some of the blue in it. Now all of this has batting on it. This is where I trimmed up my starly. I'm just getting my fabrics out. I don't see a lot down here. Oh, that's a good amount of fabric left there. I'm looking. Okay. This right here doesn't look like it is going to be... Well, there's a piece of... Doesn't look like it's going to be very helpful when it comes to the... That'd be pretty for a red, white, and blue one. And I have one of those coming on. I definitely... So I'm going to put this scrap bin back. But we have this. And let's see what's in our little zipper bag. Because I have a lot of pieces in my zipper bag. That these are true scraps. But I don't know if I have anything big enough to put on the paper like... That one is. That'll be big enough. I have lots of pieces like this. But I don't want to do it all dark reds in one. I want to kind of separate some of them. Now, I have pieces like this that are sewn together. I can't use those in this. Because I don't want it to give it that effect. Now, I have a whole nother box or bin that has this in it. A lot of them are sewn like this. Now, I can make a scrappy quilt with this and just piece it together. I may even make a pillow with that. Let me get all of these pieces here that are sewn like that. See, I have a whole bunch of those. These may be the ones out of... that bin. Probably is, because I know I was taking some of them out and taking them apart to get some fabric for the, say like this. I can take some of these apart if necessary, because I want to use every single piece of scrap I got with this quilt. Here's another piece that's sewn, but I can take it apart and use it if I need to. Okay, so guys, let's just get to it. It doesn't look like we have to cut too much down right now. So what I have seen on how to do this, I'm going to just put this back here, back on my basket. We're going to put these pieces aside. See, they're already pieced together. We're going to put those to the side. I don't think I need my ruler or that. But what I'm going to do is take two pieces and set it across the diagonal of my paper. Get this. So that means it has to be big enough to go across the whole piece of paper. So let's see if we can find a strip big enough. If not, I can pull that jelly roll out right here. I can use it. Now, most of these are going to come from a 10-inch stacker. Well, here's a piece that looks like it's long enough. Now, when you put it here on the center, you're going to go across the diagonal. I've watched a lot of videos on this, y'all. And you are going to find another strip, and you're going to lay it down and sew 1/4 of an inch on that side. So I am trying to find me another piece. That one there needs to go in my pile that I have to take apart if necessary. See if we got a strip long enough. Is that one long enough? No, it's not long enough. Thought I had one there. Sometimes you get lucky and you've got, this one looks like it will, nope, that's a layer cake. This one looks like it's going to be, yay, it is. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start and go off to the right. I'm not going to go off to the left until I get my right done. And that is completely against what I have seen in all the videos I've watched. It seems like they go one side and then work both sides at the same time. I'm not going, well, I don't know, I may. Let me get these two pieces. I'm going to sew on the right side first. I may find this to be more trouble than it's worth. I may find that I can do this by myself without that paper, because that seems to be going to be my biggest issue, is getting it on that paper and getting that paper to lay straight and still. I got to make sure all my parts are back on my machine. When I move it, I take it apart. Okay, so I have this. Just going to... Okay, so now I have the two strips aligned or together there. I'm just going to make sure the edges are together. And sew at 1/4 of an inch down the side here. Making sure I am centered on that line there. It's not going too well for me, but I'm hoping this works. Now, I know they don't trim and all that, but I can't have all this hanging off way out here. So I'm just going to cut that off. And what I'm going to do is press this open. Let's see if this works. Okay, those two layers did go well. So let's see if we can find another strip. I keep finding pieces that I don't. We don't want to use that one again. We want to use a pinkish bright color. Now, the further you get away from the edge, see, that's a pretty strip, but I'd like thought I had me a pretty little bird one there. We can use this one. Oh, maybe that one. Is that one going to be big enough? I think it is. So we're going to do a pink one now. Just going to lay it there. It looks like maybe that first one, because the second one, it's not seeming like the paper's going everywhere when I try to put on it. But we'll see. I haven't sewn it yet. Now, I do notice that paper is crinkling underneath it. So, I don't know what that's going to mean for us. Now, I don't want that strip to be that big. So, what I am going to do, I know this is probably not standard, but I'm just kind of doing my own thing anyway. Let me press it and we'll trim it after that. Alrighty, that third piece is done. It's best if you trim it before you do that. So the next piece, now see, I can use a smaller piece here. I don't want to use the same pink, but that's kind of, let's see, this will fit, but I am going to trim it before. I think that may be a 5-inch piece right there. I can trim. I can just do this, do a random trim 2.5 off. And it's not a 5-inch. Let's only do 2 inches then, because that may make it too small. Y'all are seeing my brain in motion. Which, oh goodness. Oh, that may not, nope, that one's not big enough. I thought it was going to be big enough. But this one, we don't want the same ones over. Let's see. Is that a strip? No, not big enough. This one is though. And all I am doing is lining that up. So far, I'm not really using the strips. I'm using the jelly rolls, which are strips, but okay. Now I'm going to cut this piece as well because I don't want to waste all that fabric. See, that's a big strip I can use for my next one. Okay, now all I have is a little bitty piece on the side. So that's where I can actually use little pieces like this. And if you have like those little 1.5-inch square pieces left over from some quilts, you can use those. Those would be perfect for this little bitty piece here on the side. Now, y'all, this is the very first string quilt block I have ever made. You're witnessing history. I don't know that it's that big of a deal, but it's pretty exciting for me because I've never made one. And now we're going to go back to the other side of our, that's a nice long strip there. Now we don't want to use the same pieces over and over and over, so I may have to resort to opening my jelly roll, but I don't like doing this because that means they're all going to be 2.5 inches. But I want to get it used up, and this is a way to do it. So I'm just grabbing a piece here and making sure it covers that top edge. And I'll go past my paper to put my foot down there, and I'm lining up again. I could think of several different ways to do this. It's almost going to be like my center strips are going to be jelly roll size. You know, they're going to be 2.5 inches. But the further I get away from the center, the smaller. This paper is just... Okay, I don't know about the paper, y'all. Because it is doing crazy. I am guessing it is quite normal for the paper to crinkle up while you're sewing. But I don't like that too much. Let me see if this piece will be big enough to go. No, not big enough. That'd be nice though if it was. 'Cause that's a pretty color. That's a pretty, pretty one. It looks like we go dark to light over here. I need to find some long strips. That's the same exact fabric. I don't want the same exact fabric. I want it to be kind of a variety of different patterns in there. But I can use a little longer strip. Yep, that'll work. One side's going to be light, one side's going to be dark is what it looks like. So I hope you guys, it is Saturday morning and I am sewing this and hopefully I will have it done and won't have any upload issues today. I was finally able to get my garden video. Well, I had to redo it this morning. But I was able to get it to upload. And y'all probably, let's see. Actually, as we're speaking, it's probably being released right now because it's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning. And that's when I had it set to release. Now, I hope it don't take me a whole hour to get this one block done. We've been chit-chatting for about 30 minutes. So now I have... I don't want to have all my darks on one side. And that's what it's looking like is happening here. I really like this one though. But I don't want it to be that thick. I don't want it to be that wide. See, these are like 10-inch squares and I love this fabric. I just want a little narrower strip of that. Is this the same or different? Oh, it's the same color though. I will put this in on. This fabric is so pretty, it's hard to decide which one to use. But I thought I would bring you guys along while I was trying this out. I do have another quilt block that I will be trying a little later. But y'all will be seeing it Tuesday if it's the one I decide on. And this block that I'll be trying is going to be one of the ones that I'm looking at for the sew-along. Now, these little pieces are easy to figure out. But I'm going to do a test block today. And if I find that it's... Because I want something that's easy but beautiful. I want simple but not too simple. Something that don't look just thrown together. Okay, so I have all my strings on there, strips. So what I'm going to do is push all of this out of my way so I can trim it. Now I can see, now that I've sewn it together, I can see why people would trim smaller than the size of the paper. And it's just so you can get like the stability of it. Oh, that's a lot of scraps there. I know this is my points here. I'm trying to decide what do I want to do here. This is not how I saw them do it, but my thoughts are you want the paper. Let's see, what size block do I want? I want a 9-inch block. So I could use my other ruler for this. I like my Creative Grid ruler because it's got the grips on the back of it. And we are going to do a 9-inch block. So I am going to line up I'm sitting looking at all of this, and I need to picture my 9-inch block, because if I go like this, it's not putting my red in the center. I want my red in the center. So I need my diagonal. There we go. I'm just going to cut with it like that. Let's see, that's at 9.5 inches. Now, I did notice that that paper does kind of crinkle, so I can't lay straight on the paper and be exact. But I am cutting at 9.5 inches. That's okay, scraps are going in the scrap bin. So I'm going to turn it again. And I'm lining that up on 9.5 inches. I'm going to cut that again. Now is where I have to use both sides, because before I've just been kind of guiding by the edge. We're at 9.5, 9.5. Let's make sure we're even all the way. Okay, now that I have both sides even at 9.5, I will cut the top and the side. So we got, oh, we didn't go all the way through on that one. It's hard for me to cut like this. Thank goodness. I need to have my rotary mat out. So this is a 9.5 inch block. I don't know what it, oh, that is so pretty. Look at that. That is so pretty. And it only took me 38 minutes to do that. Well, I have one block to put in my bin. So let's see if I can get another one. Maybe I'll be a little faster with the second one, now that I've done it before. Okay. Now I see why they say approximately 50 pages in here, because there is no way to keep this counted. Because this stuff is, whew, it's hard to handle. Okay. We're going to get a long strip. Is that one long enough? I believe it is. We need 2 long strips. I know, I still haven't figured out what the easiest way to do this. Probably to put it on the machine and line that first strip up, center it up good. Now this is maybe for me, maybe not for you, but for me this is the easiest way to do it. I'm thinking of red. I've got a lot of reds, don't I? Do I have a strip that's long enough? Thought I had one earlier that was long enough. Yep, that one is. These are both jelly roll scraps that I have left over. I'm calling it a scrap because I've done 2 quilts already out of Sugarberry, and this is just what I have left over. And I've had 2 jelly rolls actually. And I think this line is beautiful. I love this line of fabric. Getting my paper lined up here, getting it all lined up. Now, I will keep an eye on it here, you know, making sure I'm staying lined up. And I am trying to stay on that 1/4 of an inch, but you know what? If I don't stay on it, I'm not going to sweat it because it's a scrappy quilt. Okay, while it's still on my needle, I'm cutting the fabric. I only cut one of them. I can cut both of them. Now let's press this out. See how fast we can get on this. I can see this is going to be one of those quilts. I really don't want to use a jelly roll strip because they're all the same size. I like a different size. Let's see, jelly roll. Oops, not in the roll. I probably have tons of them over here that, will that fit? No. I have a lot of the little bitty, will that one fit? Nope. I think this is going to fit, and it's not a jelly roll strip, but it is still 2.5 inches wide, I'm afraid. Oh. But I can see getting one of those scrap bags, the Moto scrap bags. And this is that was the plan, or it still is the plan of what I want to do with it. I want to just take my scrap bags and just make a string quilt out of it, because those are not all the same size. Now my next fabric I want to add is maybe a brown. I want a small piece. I've got lots of small pieces. Don't necessarily want that. I'd like, oh, that's a jelly roll piece. I want this, but in a small piece. I don't know if I have a small piece. Oh, there's a small piece, but it's a pink. I don't want that small piece pink. Because I got too much pink over here already. Oh, that's a nice little strip there. We don't want that big of a strip for this right here, because I can use that in another location. That'll be good. I don't know if that's going to cover. Is that going to cover it? Probably not. No, I need a wider piece to cover that corner. Because I don't want to I don't want to have to put another little piece there. This brown checkerboard seems to be my going color for that point though. Trying to find a piece that is long enough to go there. Maybe a pink. I got a pink bird already. This is the fun part, is scrounging through your scrap bags. Yeah, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a good one. Even though it's the same width, it'll work. Because I haven't used this in one yet. Thought we would just come along today and do some chit-chatting and some sewing. And what I'm doing is trying out a new, something I've never tried. Let's just put it like that. I like to try different things. I guess you could say this is just like trying out a new pattern. Since we're trying out a new pattern, will that fit? Yeah, I think that'll fit, but I'm going to have to trim. Oh, where's my... I'm losing stuff, y'all. I don't know how them ladies have a big old pile of scraps and they go through them and can just make all these beautiful quilts and stuff, because it's a hard decision to pick out fabrics. Now, if I was doing a truly scrappy quilt, this wouldn't be an issue, because I would just throw one on there. As long as it's not the same one that it's next to, it wouldn't be an issue. But this one, I kind of want... It is scrappy, but I'm trying not to do two of the same colors side by side. Yeah, my thread broke there. I've been having this happen a lot lately. I may have to change my needle. I've been having to restring my, or rethread my machine a lot lately. So it's probably time for a new needle. I'm just going to have to get me a good stock up of needles. You see they put needles in subscription bags? I haven't been getting any needles in subscription bags. I'm waiting on that, guys. Oh, I love this. I love these colors. I love this. Let's see. How big does this piece need to be? Well, this will work. Nope, too short. This will work. Yep, perfect. Now, I got to see my oldest daughter yesterday. Y'all know I had to hide that quilt. I couldn't let her see it. Well, she did walk back here in my office, but I don't think she saw it. And if you're new and you don't understand what I'm saying, I made my daughter a quilt for her birthday, and her birthday is not until November. I got 2 of the checker pieces side by side. I'll show y'all the finished piece. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I promise you're going to like it. It's going to be pretty. Well, I don't know. You may not like it. If it's not your thing, you won't. But it's okay. I really want this print, but I don't have a small one. I can do this one. This will be my small. This will be small. Oh, no, it's not long enough. That one, I'm sure, is not long enough either. This don't even go to this line. I need to put that to the side because I don't want to mix that up. We don't need birds. We already got birds in this one. Do I have that one in there? Is that big enough? Nope. Let's see. I feel like I have some in here I'm not seeing because they're kind of buried under. Is that one big enough? Nope. I keep asking like y'all can answer me, but I won't hear you. But feel free to talk to me. That's a good strip, but that's the one I just had. That's the one I just had. I love this one, y'all. That is so pretty. So pretty. I already got this color in there. I already got that color, I love these birds, though. Oh, my goodness. I love the little birds. Well, let's shake it up. Let's put a different one up here. And I know some people are probably cringing going, that's not really your scrap. Those are whole pieces. But it's still my scrap because it's not going to get used for another quilt. Now, I do have some, I'm going to go on and cut this. I do have some whole pieces of fabric that I'm going to try to use this first, but I may incorporate that into this. I now have this block completed, so let's get it over here, get it turned down. Let's start getting on that 9.5 degree, and let's see. Oh, we're doing good time. We got 2 done in. It's just a little under an hour right now. But this may be the only 2 I can get today. Okay, now I will say my paper didn't crinkle up as bad, so maybe I was doing something wrong. Let's see, that's all at the 9.5 mark. So I'm going to turn this. So it was very likely a me. It probably was. Y'all know me. I'm first time trying doing this. It may just be. It was my first time doing that, using this paper, and it's kind of difficult for me to determine. You know, I don't know if this is going to be very centered. We're going for it, though. We're going for it. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this around. I may put my rotating mat up here. Y'all, this has been fun, too. This is really easy to do. Throw these quilts together. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing here. But here is my second block. This is so much fun, y'all. So now I have a little something I can do when I need to just add a little something in my day. Now I know those are not centered, but okay, it's okay. Let me pull my second one here so we can see the 2 together. Let's see. Yeah, we'll put them together like this. Those are going to be pretty together, y'all. Really pretty. So I will be putting these in my little project box. Now my scraps, I'll have to put them back in this bag over here because I can't, that ain't going to go in my box. But y'all, thank you for joining me on this project that I've never done before. I'm learning how to do a string quilt. I do want to do that with a lot of my scrap stuff because I don't believe in waste. And if I can save all my pieces and get another quilt out of pieces that I'm not going to use, then hey, I say that's a win for everybody if you do that. So if you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please feel free to become part of my family. I will be having sewing, cooking, maybe a little gardening. I don't know. I have a little garden, but if you saw the video earlier today, it's not much. It's just where I pitter-patter in it. It's something to take up my time, something enjoyable. I can be outside, get my son in for the day. Just a little enjoyment for me. But leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Have you ever done a string quilt? Do you find it easy? Do you find it difficult? Is a string quilt your no-thinking quilt? I imagine when I get to where I can do just a fully scrappy quilt, that's what I'll probably do. But it's scrappy, but it's intentional. I don't want two of the same color side by side and all the fabrics are from the same line. Because I just want to make a coordinated little quilt. Well, it's not going to be little. This is going to end up being, until I run out of scraps, I may end up having to sash. I may end up having to make a pillow. Until I run out of scraps, I will continue to make quilt squares. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. And as always, until I see you again, have a very blessed day. Goodbye.